What's up YouTube, LazeeLlama here, and welcome back to my Click Heroes Guide series. Today we're going to talk about how to level up the heroes. I do know that we have a lot more gold than you'd normally have at this zone. I let the game sit for close to 2 days now, just so I can kind of get this point across and show you guys how this works, just so you guys aren't so confused. So as you can see, when I hold my shift key, it shows to level up by 10s, and my Z key to show up by 25s. Those are what we're going to be using a lot through this. So my first suggestion would always be to buy your highest hero and just put a single level into him. I would then look to see if you could buy 10 more levels, which we couldn't. You could have checked that to begin with. So I would level the next highest hero to 10, and you want to follow one by 25 generally. We don't have enough gold to do that, so it kind of actually still not really showing it the best way I'd like to. All right, let me even show it with these guys. The idea is that, again, to have one here, this one here, this one here, and then you'd have this one up here. At this point, we can actually go on. We're gonna be able to beat these next bosses without much problem. And you'd want to have the upgrades as you go. We don't have the buy upgrades button, so it's manually buy them all as you're going. And then this one, we'd be leveling up to 75 next. Even more so, it's hard to show you. Like, you kind of want to like have this almost pyramid scheme to them, and then slowly be leveling them up. So we'd want to be working this one towards 10, and when we get this one to 10, we'd probably be able to afford one of the samurai, and at that point we'd be able to get the guy before this to 25, 50, 75, and vice versa, until you get all the upgrades of them, of course. And you kind of just work backwards, keeping them in almost a pyramid shape, leveling from the bottom up, but aiming for the upgrades. And this is just the very beginning of the game. Obviously later on you'll be able to do things a little differently. You can see we're absolutely one-shotting these things because we're going to be able to get much farther with the heroes we have. Again, this won't be that easy at this point, but this kind of follows this rule at all points of the game as far as leveling your heroes up. Again, you put one in your highest, 10, 25, and you normally focus on like 4 heroes at a time because you'll normally have the other one max at that point. You won't really have this many heroes not leveled up to max properly. We can't even afford 25 of that right now. But that's kind of how the leveling works. I hope that makes sense. If it's a little confusing, I apologize. It's a little hard to explain without having like an infinite amount of gold, basically. But yeah, so you're kind of just pyramid scheming it. So again, kind of look at this point, one level. And you can even look at the cost and see kind of, at this point, we'd be looking to get this either up to that, this to possibly 25, which would be cheaper. But this guy getting this to 10 is going to be our primary goal. So get that to 10. At that point, you'd be able to get one of this to 25, 50, 75. Hope that makes sense. Anyways, if this did help you out in any way or you enjoyed, please take a second, smack the like button, guys. It really does help. We'll be keeping going on these quite often. I've got a couple, probably 2 coming out this weekend. We might have one Saturday and Sunday this weekend, so keep an eye out for those. And yeah, we'll soon be getting into some of the more in-depth stuff that you get into a little bit later in the game.